Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Starcastic Remarks. The Stars win this afternoon with a final score 3-2 against the Montreal Canadiens. There were some good parts, but man, that ending really sours it at the end there. But nevertheless, Stars get the 2 points, 4 out of 6 on the road trip. Not too bad. How you doing, James? What do you think about it?
I'm doing pretty good. Woke up to hockey today, so that's fun. Don't have anything else to do tonight, which is sad. But the ending was really rough. It's fortunate that the Canadiens missed quite a few there at the end. They had one hit the post and then one over top, and then a couple of heroic back checks to stop a few as well. Really feels like this shouldn't have been even close. Tough one to win by one.
Yeah, and an incredible game by Otter, too. I mean, he didn't have a big workload tonight, but, 8 of the 20 shots he faced were grade A, right in front of his face. He had to make some massive stops. So when you look at the shots tonight, James, we have 38 shots on goal for the Stars and 20 for the Canadiens. Did you see any difference between, quality of shots between those two teams? What was your thought there?
Definitely, especially in the first. Basically, all the Canadian shots came from the slot. We were giving up so much there, especially on those early power plays.
Yes,
and
for sure.
Otter saved us on the penalty kill a lot tonight because we were still scrambling a lot till probably that last penalty kill. We finally got it down and we're just chucking it down the ice, and Montreal got nothing on that one. But we gave up a lot of grade A chances on the penalty kill again today.
Yeah, and we finished tonight still 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. So hopefully it just took a few for us to get our bearings underneath us again and figure out how to actually play defense, And hopefully after this game, like you said, that last penalty kill was pretty good from the Stars. Hopefully we can take that, move past that Toronto game, which was madness, and hopefully our penalty kill can be fine from here on out. Speaking of special teams, 10 power plays tonight between both of the teams. No goals from any of them.
No.
And
honestly, it wasn't for lack of chances either. There were some great chances on both sides. That's what happens when you have so many in a game. There probably should have been more chances than there were. But regardless, the goaltenders stood up when they needed to on the penalty kills, respectively.
Yeah, Montembeault always plays great against the Stars, and he does it again today. He had a really good game. It took really 3 perfect plays from the Stars. And for Otter's credit, both of the goals from Montreal were pretty great shots. Maybe not the second one. Talk about the second one.
The second one was really bad from Otter. He missed his right foot on the right post, and he just never found it again.
I thought
if you go back and watch it, he lost his right post completely.
Okay.
He knew where it was. He pushed off the left post and just missed. Really, that's what it was. If he's on his post right, like he normally is. Granted, he normally is like that, but he wasn't, and he lost that one. That one really was on him.
That's a good catch, because I thought that he just lost the puck behind him, because he got moved. There's 3 quick passes behind the net, and I thought he just got lost. But if he missed the post, that would for sure.
Yeah. Razor was pretty hard on him for that one. He was saying he doesn't understand that one going in from a goaltender's perspective, because he just got lost, man.
Yep. That one was definitely weird and not normal. But other than that, some fantastic stops from Otter. He gets the 900 save percentage that James harps on so much. We get the quality start just barely. Have you had a chance to look at Money Puck and the expected goals for this game, James?
Expected goals were way down. It is funky how it works sometimes. Really don't understand it, other than maybe the shots weren't great, so they missed the net. They didn't count the best ones, but that's definitely what it is from Montreal's side.
Yeah, expected goals today were 1.69 for 1.69 for Dallas, 1.94 for Montreal. And honestly, I'm kind of on board with that. I thought Dallas really capitalized on their plays. They had a couple of really good passes from Duchesne and perfect finishes from Seguin. Probably should have been higher on the expected goals on those, because they were basically slam dunks, both of them. But all of Montreal's shots were good shots. The Stars had a lot of shots from the perimeter that weren't really dangerous, I feel like a lot of shots that didn't even have traffic in front, which is really upsetting, because I like getting shots from distance on Montembeault if we have the traffic in front and we can try and make some greasy stuff happen. But the Stars just didn't do that. But either way, I'm going to chalk this game up to it's still weird after the All-Star break. We had 2 days after a back-to-back. We found a way to get the 2 points against a bad team in a weird game too. I mean, the first period, obviously both teams were just like trying to start playing hockey again. Then all the goals are in the second period, and then the third period was just madness. Y'all saw it, especially that 4-minute power play was probably the worst power play. Probably worst 2 power plays if you want to count it that way that the Stars have had this season, because those are some great scoring chances for the Canadiens when they were shorthanded. But
yeah, and again, just lucky that they missed the net.
They missed the net and a couple of saves by Otter, and then the biggest save was by the post. But yeah, it's just a weird game, I feel like, and it's just good to find a way to get 2 points against an inferior opponent.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. It shouldn't, because we should have killed this team, honestly, and it feels like for multiple games now we've struggled a little against them, but you won this one, and that's kind of what's important going into it, especially after having a really bad penalty kill against the Leafs. You come into a team, and they looked confident on their power play. They did, and they stopped all 4 chances.
And that's the
whether
best part.
It be out of pure luck or because the penalty kill improved.
Yeah. And that's the best part of this Canadiens team, too, is like their top talent is like top. Suzuki is crazy. That shot on their first goal, I mean, it doesn't matter what goal you are. You're not stopping that. That's perfect. It's a perfect pass from his defenseman, too, to get him sprung up there, and he waits perfectly. I mean, they have high skill in this team. There's just no depth is their problem, and their defense is very poor. And you can see on their penalty kill, even with our 6 power plays, we somehow didn't put it in, but we were in their zone the entire time, except for the last 4-minute double minor, but whatever.
The way we score our first goal is from just pure mistake. I mean, 2 of their players run into each other at center ice, and that's what lets us start the pressure on them. And it was really the only sustained pressure to that point.
Yep. That's definitely true. Other than that, it was just Suzuki and Caufield having some breaks every once in a while. Anything else that you want to talk about writ large on this game, James?
I mean, goaltenders were decent. They kind of did what you expected them to. Low shot affair for Otter. I mean, that's tough to stay in sometimes, and that showed in that second goal that he let up, I think, because we were just absolutely dominating that second period. He didn't really have to do that much, and he just gets lost on that one. The first one's just a great shot by Suzuki. I mean, what are you going to do about it? And then the Stars taking care of business on the other side, hardly getting that chance, jumping up with the first line in scoring. And I don't know if you saw the post game or the pregame, but Rope hints in games where he has points, we are now like 27-3-1.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous to think about. Like, if Rope scores a point, we win the game essentially.
And that shows how crazy important of a player he is for the Stars. When he's on, this team is humming. Some other things to point out, that Duchesne, Seguin, Marchment line continues to just be amazing. Duchesne and Marchment both with 2 assists, Seguin with 2 goals. The passes by Duchesne obviously were fantastic, but the finishes from Seguin are so consistent. Anytime he gets the puck in a scoring position, it's in every single time.
Well, so that's kind of a weird thing about tonight, honestly, is that he had like 7 of those chances and scored 2 of them. So, yes, but he also had a ton of chances tonight. Yeah.
He finished with 6 shots on goal tonight, Seguin did, and that leads the team, I believe. Yeah, it does.
Nope. No, it doesn't. Oh, look at Smith.
Oh, my goodness. Thomas Harley with 8 shots on goal tonight.
He wanted to score tonight.
I mean, he looked great, and I love it when he jumps up, especially when he's on the ice with that first line. That's where he scored, I feel like, more than half of his goals is when he's up with the first line. He does a really good job of that.
It's the first line or overtime.
Yep, exactly. First line or overtime. That's correct. And when it's overtime, it's Duchesne.
Yep.
So, yeah, that second line continues to be the most consistent line for the Stars here. And there's not much else to say. They are great. If we can find any way to sign Duchesne, we need to do it.
It's a weird 7-game drought for Seguin before he got back on the scoring sheet, but he gets 2. I mean, and he comes back when we need him too. We had a great stretch there for a little bit where we were winning games, the last 5 games, we won 4 of them without any help from Sagan. And then he comes back and wins us this one.
Yep, right when we needed it too. I kind of want to point out Ty Dellandrea tonight. I thought so. This is his first game back. He hasn't played very much in the last. I think they said 3 games in the last 15.
Second game back. He played the Leafs game.
Second game. Yeah, he played the Leafs game, but he hasn't played a lot, especially in the later part of the season that we've been in.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked really good, and he looked especially good on offense. I mean, he skating fast, skating hard. He gets 4 shots on goal. That's tied for third among forwards for the Stars. And yeah, I thought he played really well. Thoughts on Dellandrea?
He has problems 5-on-5 defensively, which is really weird because he plays on the penalty kill and he plays great on the penalty kill. I mean, he looked great tonight. Lots of times he was breaking up the ice. One time he was in the other zone, just pinning it up against the boards. He filled in nice on the penalty kill for Foxa there, and on that note, just Steele on the other side, his counterpart, was great tonight too. I mean, I thought Steele looked fantastic on the penalty kill, especially. I felt like he was the only one doing the heavy work in the first 2, honestly. Him and Delhi really helped on that.
And while we're talking about depth, guys, I kind of want to talk about that penalty that Craig Smith took. I think that's kind of an example of where this team's lack of physicality can really punish us. Because he got leveled on that hit, and he's trying to get up and make something happen, but he doesn't do it in like a hockey way. You know, he just punches the guy pretty much is what he did. And if we get frustrated with the physicality that Montreal was definitely showing, especially around that time of that penalty took place, that's when we're going to take stupid penalties like that. So hopefully that can get nipped in the bud, doesn't become an issue moving forward. But you can't let the physicality get to you if you're going to be a team that doesn't play physical.
I agree, but also most of the time that's let go. I mean, 9 times out of 10, they don't call that call. The only reason why it's called is because the dude threw his head back and fell on the ice.
It's true, but he threw a punch after he got hit. I mean, that was obviously
it was more of a shove, but yeah.
It was a frustration thing. It was not an attempt to play the puck.
Especially for the ref on the other side of the ring, it's an angle where he's just going to call that every time. I mean, it's not a hard one to call. It's weird, ticky-tacky in my opinion. Playoff game, if that happens, it's never called. Not once.
True.
That is not going to be called.
It's just a discipline thing in my opinion. And if we're going to get frustrated like that when we're getting pushed around, which this team is going to get pushed around, they're not a physical team, then, I mean, that's going to hurt, especially in the playoffs when everybody's physicality is ramped up.
It is annoying to me that Smith pushed back a little bit and gets called for roughing. And it was like a nothing call. I mean,
the other dude hit him though. He made
he was also hooking him before that as well.
I don't know. I don't like the penalty. I just want to talk about it. I think it was a dumb penalty, and I think he should have done it. Speaking of dumb penalties, Ryan Suter 4 penalty minutes. He did not play very much tonight.
I thought the second one was weird again, but the trip was a needless. The first one, it was a needless trip away from the play too. I mean, there's no reason why your stick should be anywhere near his skates.
Yeah. Kind of want to talk a little bit about the time on ice from defensemen, because it's kind of interesting how it's shaking up now that Harley is like proven himself as a top pair guy. So Hakanpää and Lindell, well, Hakanpää gets 1843, Lindell 1928. That kind of makes sense due to the 4 penalty kills that we were on, as well as the 6-on-5 that we were on at the end of the game there, which was about 2 minutes as well. Miro with 2250, which isn't a lot for Miro. I think that's a good place for him to finish at. I think game in and game out. That's kind of where we want to keep him. And Harley gets 1907. And then Lundqvist and Suter both have low minutes. Lundqvist 1417, Suter 1556. What are you kind of your thoughts on that time on ice spread?
A lot of that breaks down to the special teams that went on tonight. There were 10 power plays, and none of them overlapped. I mean, not a single one. There were 6 seconds of 4-on-4 time. If you look at even strength time on ice, it is all even except for Thomas Harley, who has the least because he played both on the penalty kill and the power plays. I mean, it's tough to get players, especially your bottom pair, into the game when you are playing on the power play and penalty kill, and when our penalty kill relies so much on our second pair. I mean, they play basically the whole thing. Luckily tonight they didn't, and I felt like they kind of needed it because they've been struggling as of recently.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, though, I mean, the even strength time on ice pretty similar.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's going to be very dependent on what the special teams looks at in the game to how this defensive time on ice is going to work out. I just feel like when we get in these kind of special team slugfest, we need to find a way to get Lundqvist and Suter on the ice a little bit more somehow. I don't know exactly what that looks like, though. I mean, I'm not smart enough to know that.
It's tough because like Suter can play on the penalty kill, and he did play almost 2 minutes. He played a minute 46 on the penalty kill, but it's tough to justify it when you have Harley there instead.
Yeah.
And Harley Heiskanen is just going to be better on that every single time. Heiskanen actually just played on the power play tonight, played like 8 minutes on the power play, which is kind of stupid. But
yep.
That's just it's how it shakes out sometimes.
All right. Biggest winner, biggest losers for you tonight, James.
Biggest winner, Tyler Seguin is the easy one. So I'll take the easy one. Two goals. It was great setups from that whole line, honestly. Really saved the game for us.
Yep. And it's exactly what we said he had to do in the offseason to get a comeback year the way Jamie Benn did. He has to find a different way to play. And he's doing that. He is getting to scoring areas and trusting his line mates to get him the puck. That's exactly what he's doing. And he still has the mitts to finish. So when he gets the puck, he's probably going to finish it. So it's been an excellent pairing with him and Duchesne. And that's who I'm going to give mine to is Duchesne. Both of his assists, primary assists, and excellent primary assists too. I mean, right to Sagan's tape, easy for him to jam it home. That line was just fantastic tonight. By far the best line on the ice overall. I mean, they look dangerous every time they touch the ice.
Yeah.
And a little physicality there in the second period too. They showed that they can throw some weight around when they're forechecking, and I like that a lot.
And it was needed tonight as well.
Yep, needed to have a little bit of response there when Canadians started throwing their weight around. Biggest loser, James.
Joe Pavelski. His face was a stick magnet tonight. He got hit 3 times in the face, and only 2 of them were called. One of them, oh my word! You cannot swing your stick around like that on that second one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The dude is just like he's literally just waving his stick around, and it slaps Pavelski in the face, and that's what gets us the 2-minute double minor.
Yeah, I don't know what their coach was complaining about too. He was like throwing his hands up, like, "What the heck? What do you mean?" The dude like karate chopped him. I mean, it wasn't on purpose, but man, that's a dangerous way to move your stick.
It's bad too because he's not like swinging for the puck in the air or anything. He's just turning around and he flailed the stick behind him, and it hit Pavelski right in the face.
I'm gonna do something that you hate. I'm gonna give my biggest loser to Craig Smith. I really hated that penalty. Honestly, it really frustrated me. But I've already talked about that enough. Wrapping it up tonight, James. Any final thoughts?
Thomas Harley was just ridiculous offensively tonight. 8 shots, a little insane. That's probably where you get some from the outside, and those are low scoring chances. But Harley seems to pick it up all the time. He's already picked back up into the defenseman goal scoring column again. I mean, he's right back up there. So unfortunately, Mackenzie Weegar had a hat trick tonight, so he's leading that now. But Harley playing with Heiskanen is consistently getting him goals, even strength goals.
Yep. My big takeaway from tonight is you got the 2 points. I mean, there was some crappy parts of it and a lot of stuff that didn't look good, but you're the better team. You're playing a vastly inferior opponent, bottom 10 in the league. You got to find a way to get to, and they did. They hung on. It took a little bit of hanging on, but it's the end of the road trip. It was a weird game for sure, being at noon, and they were there for a while, and it was just a weird kind of game. But they find a way to get the job done. They find a way to get the 2 points, and they find a way to pull away in the Central Division. They are now solo atop Central Division, 70 points. Colorado's right
tonight, but they still end up in the lead.
Colorado's right behind with 68. Again, like James said, they're playing tonight. We'll see what happens there. And then Winnipeg falling off the face of the earth like we thought they would, down at 65. They couldn't keep up that crazy pace they were on earlier. So Stars, despite not playing maybe as good as we wanted them to tonight, still find a way to get the 2 points. And I think that's the most important thing when you're playing an opponent like this.
And oddly enough, have been very good in matinee games this year. I mean, they are 5-1. And the one game that they lost, me and Chris were at. And
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that too. That was honestly the worst. So we'll see you guys back here tonight. Tuesday night, we're playing the Carolina Hurricanes. That's going to be a fun test against the Eastern Conference team that's kind of in a similar spot as Dallas. They should be contenders, but maybe aren't playing like it recently. So that'll be a very good game. Hopefully the Stars show up big on that one and take that as a challenge. Any closing thoughts, James?
Nope.
All right. Be sure to go to DraftKings. Use that promo code THBN for some free stuff. Be sure to check out StarcasticRemarks.com. We got a lot of blog posts. Ryan will probably put one on there since he didn't get to get his thoughts in on there. So look for that tomorrow. You can also see whenever we post any of our podcasts on there. And it's actually a surprisingly good website for how small of a podcast we are. So just take a look at it. Do us a favor. Ryan worked real hard on it. He did a great job on it. So it looks really good. That'll do it for us tonight. The Stars win. Final score 3-2 against the Canadiens. We don't let Montembeault beat us twice. So that's very good. GG, boys.